class, we're ready here to learn some law of cosines today. Don't forget Thursday. I don't know why I put 3 fingers up, but Thursday is it's a quiz. So you're going to learn law of cosines and then have a quiz review and hopefully just be awesome. Just be awesome, guys. Remember that I love y'all. And we're going to get through this together. All right, I'm going to teach you law of cosines as quick and as painless as possible. All right, so law of cosines. Now remember, law of sines and law of cosines are for triangles. Let's get a little bit of an ink. Yeah, let's go with red. They're for triangles that are not necessarily right. Oh, that kind of looks like it's right. Let's go with, that definitely doesn't look like a right triangle. Anytime we have triangles with no right angle, you're going to use law of sines, law of cosines. So the question arises, why would I not always use law of sines? Because law of sines is definitely the easiest. Let's review that quick. Okay, law of sines says the sine of big A over little a is equal to the sine of big B over little b, which is equal to the sine of big C over little c. All right, that's an easy one to remember. Nice little proportion stuff. Why can't I just use it for all of them? Because A did a little, the kitty in the middle. I want to use that one. Well, here's law of cosines. I'm going to teach you why. I'm going to show you a couple examples and why we can't always use law of sines. So law of cosine says that, first of all, a squared plus b squared equals b squared plus c squared. It's almost like Pythagoras' theorem. Minus 2bc times cosine of a. And that's when we're trying to find like either angle A or we're trying to find little a. If we're trying to find B or cosine or big B, we'll use that one. And if we're trying to find C or big C, we will use the bottom equation. If you need to, pause it, write it down, do what you need to, but let's get moving. All right, that's the 3 fingers again. That stands for quiz on Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday. Okay, here we go. So why can't I use law of sines here? All right, well, this would be little c. This would be little a, and this would be little b. And law of sines says the sine, since we know c, let's go sine of 20 over, I don't know what that is, equals, let's go with trying to sine of b. I don't know 2 things. I don't know what C is, right? I don't know what C is, and I don't know what B is. I can't solve unless I only have one unknown. If I have one unknown, I can solve, but here I have 2 unknowns, and I can't use law of sines. Now, I know it says solve for the triangle, but for time's sake, let's just solve for one of the angles here. Now, I kind of like C because I have the angle for C, for big C. So let's solve for little c then, all right? You kind of always look for, something that you do have. And right away I notice I have a big C, so let's solve for little c. Now if you remember, formula is going to be for little c, it's going to be c squared, which I don't know what it is, a squared, which remember that's a little a, by the way, that's a little b, a squared minus 5 squared minus 2, and then I go a times b times the cosine, law of cosine, the cosine of 20. All right, now, due to the power of math, I actually multiplied all of that out, and I got something like 103.366. I did it all in my head. I just did 2 times 11 times 5 times cosine of 20, and you should get something like that. All right. Now 11 squared is 121, 5 squared is 25, so 121, that's what, 145? I believe that part comes down there to that. Okay. Now when I subtract the 2, I should get about 42.634, if that's about right. And then, hello? Okay. Whew, man, Did I mess up? Okay, so even I mess up every once in a while. I got all this stuff you'll see in just a second. But, alright, so far we had, oh boy, I thought I said C is 42.63, but it's C squared. Ah, it tricked me. It tricked me. So, see, look at all the stuff I did here. Who messes up like that? Seriously. All right, how do you get rid of a square? I square root it. I get C equals the square root of 42. So I'm going to go 42.63 square root ya, and I get 6.529. Phooey. 6.529. 29. Now I'm just all flustered. All right, so C is 6.529. Okay, now I'm going to erase all this other yes right over here. And I'm going to say, all right, well, I could do law of cosine again. But law of cosines is kind of confusing. It's got a lot of parts working. And now that I have found little c here, I can actually use law of sines with these two guys. Because see, look, I got sine of 20, that's big C, over little c, which is 6.529. I can set that equal to any of the others. So let's say I'm solving for little big B. Well, that would be the sine of big B over little b, which is 5. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and multiply it all out. All right, so I cross multiplied and I had sine of 20 times 5, and that equaled 1.71. And then I cross multiplied this, and I can't do that because I don't know what angle B is. And I got this. All right, now, if you guys remember, I got to divide by 6.529. 6.529. So I'm going to do that divided by 5. Shiitake mushrooms. 1.71 divided by 6.529. You guys ever watch Spy Kids? Oh, it was such a great movie. Really bad graphics, but such a great movie. All right, there we go. Now, here's the big question. All right, problem solvers. You investigators out there, how do I get rid of just a sine? Do I divide it, multiply it? I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? All right. Well, if you remember anything, you multiply it by sine inverse. You go sine inverse. That'll knock that out, and I'm just left with B. So I'm going to go sine inverse of 0.26. Now, if you don't remember where sine inverse is, it is the orange button right above the sign. And so I'm going to go 0.26 sine inverse, and I get 15. Roughly 15 is B. So that means that's about 15 degrees. Okay, now I could solve for A doing the same thing, but for time's sake, let's keep moving and grooving. All right, we're learning about law of cos, so I don't think we need to do anything more. All right, well, here I have 3 sides. All right, try and do law of sines. You're going to get sine of, well, I have no angles, so let's go sine of A over little a, which is 9, right? That's A, that's little b, that's little c. And that should be equal to, let's try and solve for b, I guess. Sine of big B over little b, which is 7. Oh, 2 variables. Can't do it, right? I can't solve. So I'm going to have to do the old law of cosines. This is little a, little b, little c. All right, so here we go. Let's try this out. All right. So which angle do we want to start first? Let's just try A for kicks and giggles. All right. So let's do A. So here we go. Okay. So I know little a is 9 squared plus b squared, which is 7 squared, plus 5 squared minus 2b times c times cos of big A. All right, here's the fun part, guys. Let's simplify it down. Well, this is going to be 81. And let's just knock out all of that. Let's do it all in a calculator. Okay, so I got 81 equals 74 squared. That's 7 squared plus 5 squared minus 70, which is the 2 times the 7 times the 5 cosine. Now, be careful. Do not combine those two. All right? Don't do it. Okay? They're not like terms because that baby is being multiplied to cos. It's like multiplying 2. It's like going 2 minus 2x. You can't do it. Okay? So don't do it. Basically, what we're going to do is we are going to slowly get rid of these and bring them over to the other side. So I'm going to minus 74 minus 74. And I have 7 equals negative 70 cos of A. And, all right, so I'm dividing. Sorry, I keep having glitches. 70 divided by a negative 70. I'm going to move it up to the top. I've got negative 1/10, which, oh, for crying out loud, let's just do that. That's 0.1 equals cos of big A. Now remember, how do you get rid of cos? Well, you'll go cos inverse, right? So cos inverse of that. So cos inverse of negative 0.1. So I'm going to go negative 0.1. Okay, and I'm going to do cos inverse of that. And I get 95.739. So we just found A, which is 95.739. There we go. That's that one. All right, let's go one story problem, and then we're going to go be done here. Let's go down to the baseball one. Basically, it says find C. I want to know what is this right here, okay? So here's the thing. If I knew that was a right angle, I would be slick as spit. However, I don't know that's a right angle, and so we're going to have to do law of cosines because I don't know what C is. So I'm going to go C squared equals, that's the missing. And let's go, well, here's little b, and that's little a. So I'm going to have a squared, which would be 60.5 squared, plus b squared, which is 90 squared, minus 2 times 60.5. I'm running out of room over here. Let's go down. Times 90 times cos of, oh my goodness, I just keep running out of room. Cos of 45. Holy moly. Let me rewrite this. All right, so I don't know if this is any better or not, but here it is. I rewrote it down here on the bottom. All right, so we're going to stop. We're going to simplify. I'm going to simplify this side. I'm going to simplify that side, and then we'll come back. All right, so we're going to have c squared equals something. All right, so I just basically brought that down here. I'm running out of time. I only got 1 minute. And let's multiply. I'm going to figure out what this is. So I'm going to multiply that times 45 cos. And that is going to be 0.70. And I got 8100 minus 0.70. So 8100 minus 0.7. All right, and that's what c squared equals 8100 minus 0.7. 80993. All right, square root that baby, and I got my answer. All right, so the correct answer is basically 90. Okay, so you're about 90 feet away. Now, I am sorry this has just been a horribly sporadic lesson. Hopefully you guys are able to get work done, practice your review guide. Have a great day, guys.